when we model fluency, fluency is how smoothly you read something and how interesting your voice is as you read it, okay? You ready to try this? Okay.
Yeah.
So, page 55, we're going to do the model. So let's go ahead and we're going to model, I'm actually going to model this paragraph for you. So I want you to follow with your eyes as I read, okay, honey?
Okay.
A zoo is a public place where living animals are kept in some type of enclosure. For aquatic animals, a zoo can be an aquarium. For the purposes of this book, we are including aquariums as zoos. We also feel that wildlife centers, safari parks, and refuge centers can be thought of as zoos. So let's read it together. Ready? Together. A zoo is a public place where living animals are kept in some type of enclosure. For aquatic animals, a zoo can be an aquarium. For the purposes of this book, we are including aquariums as zoos. We also feel that wildlife centers, safari parks, and refuge centers can be thought of as zoos. Okay, your turn.
A zoo is a public place where living animals are kept in some type of enclosure. For aquatic animals, a zoo can be an aquarium. For the purposes of this book, we are including aquariums as zoos. We also feel that wildlife centers, safari parks, and refuge centers can be thought of as zoos.
Beautifully done. Okay, all right, so now we're going to do our fluency passage, which is a part of the book that you haven't seen. So it's cold to you, okay? And I have marked off where we're going to start in 100 words. I expect you to read probably past that 100 words the way you've been reading today, but we'll see, okay? So I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute, and you're going to read in your very best reading. If you come to a word that's tricky, do your best to try it, and if you need help, I'll help you. Any word that you are unable to read correctly will be a mistake, but if you fix words on your own, they don't count as mistakes. Okay? So are you ready? Okay, get the book where it's comfortable for you, and you can go ahead and start.
Once the captive breeding program had been successful in reproducing, the zookeepers and scientists must determine how to put the animals back into their natural habitats without the animal life. Before an animal can be reintroduced to an area, the scientists need to learn everything they can about its natural habitat.
Good. Okay, that's it. All right, so you got to hear, excellent, when the timer went off at a minute. So that's 100, 101, 102, 103. You had 3 words that tricked you. So I'm going to take your words read minus your mistakes, and you're going to get your words correct per minute, which is 100. Wow, I need to work on my math. So it's 100 words correct per minute. Okay, so let's look at where that puts you on our chart, our moving on up chart, okay? So we are in a level N.
Okay.
So we're going to look on our moving on up chart on page 56. And a level N, how many words correct per minute do you need?
91.
91, and what did you do?
100.
You did 100. So your goal is 91, you did 100. In our last read, you did more than 91 as well. So we have to read one more time in the level N and get at least 91 or higher, and we can move you up to a level O. Okay, and that'll be a more difficult text. So really quickly, before we mark on our chart, I want you to tell me about this section that you read. Tell me the main idea and the key details of that section.
Like animals in the zoos and how like putting them back, like how they have to work through and how to
putting them back where?
Like in their natural habitat.
Excellent. So we're taking them from being in captivity to being where?
In their home.
In their home, in the wild. Awesome. Very nicely done. Okay, are you ready to color?
Yeah.
So let's fill this in. So we did our zoos passage. Today is the 17th. It is level N. We did it on page 15. And your words correct per minute were 100. And your name is Maddie P. Okay, so if you read 100 words, miss. Are you doing I? Sorry, my bad. Okay, how many words correct did you read?
100.
So where do you think you're going to mark to?
100.
Okay, well, there you go. All the way down. Beautiful job. You know how Testable works, right? Okay, Beautiful job. Lovely job. What do you say?
Gracias.
De nada. Have a good day, honey.